Hi, my name is Christopher Wright from the English Training Company. And today I'm going to talk to you about moving from an intermediate to an advanced business English speaker. In our training, we've helped thousands of professionals and managers here in Madrid in Spain to move from intermediate to an advanced business English speaker. Here are some of our main tips and techniques. This is part one. Here are some tips and techniques that we recommend that really help people. Right, let's begin. Okay, number one. This is going to sound very, very strange. However, whenever you're listening to something, it can be a series, it could be a TED Talk, it could be a film, it could be a podcast. You need to record yourself speaking, giving an opinion, talking about what it was about. One of the biggest problems that people have is they don't have enough speaking practice. And also, they need to connect listening with speaking, right? So when you're watching your favorite series, watching a film, watching a TED Talk, listening to a podcast, you need to stop afterwards and just 2 minutes, record the audio of you talking. What was it about? What did you like about it? What did you find interesting? And that way you'll use the vocabulary that you've listened to, you'll listen a lot better, and you'll also improve your speaking. Technique 2. One of the things that we find really works well is to really be very demanding with your listening. And one of the tools that we found, maybe that's because I'm British, is the BBC have the BBC 1 Minute World News. So if you search for the BBC 1 Minute World News, I'll also put it in the link in the video. You get a video of 1 minute talking about different news stories. You get about 3 or 4 news stories. Now, if you really listen to it and you take notes, very quick and short notes, and you listen no more than twice, and then explain, you need to record yourself, explain yourself or explain what those news stories are about, it'll really, really test your listening and really force you to step up your listening and speaking to the next level. It's one of the most demanding things that you can do for your listening and speaking. It'll also really help you in conference calls where things can move quickly. Yeah? So if you do that 3 times a week, you listen to the 1 Minute World News, try it for 1 month, 3 times a week, that's 12 times. Listen twice, take notes, and then explain it, recording yourself. Technique number 3. What we suggest to people is that you create your own English bubble. What does that mean? Well, it means that everything that you do, or as much as you can do, try and do it in English. For example, with my mobile phone, I have all the instructions in Spanish. And that forces me to create my Spanish bubble to improve my Spanish. Yeah, I watch series in Spanish with subtitles in Spanish if I need them. Yeah? Whenever I go out and do things, I try and do it in Spanish. For example, you can go and look for intercambios, you can look for colleagues that you know from different countries and just practice a little bit of English with them over a coffee. Yeah? So try and create these little bubbles of English, or English bubbles, where you're constantly practicing your English in real situations. Okay? Right, I hope that helps. That was the end of part 1 of moving from intermediate to an advanced business English speaker. And the last point, number 4, is I would suggest having some sort of goals, 1 or 2 goals with your English. How are you going to know that you've reached reached the level of advanced business English speaker? How are you going to measure it? What specifically is going to be the criteria that you measure that you've reached that goal? So when we have specific goals and measurable goals, yeah, with time frames, like how long you think it will take. It helps you to really focus, and if you give yourself feedback on these goals, it really helps you to achieve those goals. So the more specific and measurable and time orientated we make our goals, the more likely we are to obtain those goals. I hope this helps.